OK, so he's being asked to do something different from the previous manager, which I guess is normal, but how difficult can it be for a player?
That's not normal, to be honest. Like, he got asked last year to defend less. OK, fine. So why did he defend more than this year? That makes no sense to me. You know, yes, he's still a professional player. He still knows that he has to help his teammates out. So I disagree with that. I mean, we can play that comment as much as you want, but at the end of the day, if he got told to defend less last year, why did he defend more than this year? The only thing that, you know, coincides with this is, you know, signing a new deal. Obviously, he was hungry for that new deal. He got his new deal. Again, I allude back to it's not what you've done in the past. It's not what you've done last year or the years before, because there's no doubt about it. Salah has been unbelievable, and he's scored an unbelievable amount of goals. But ultimately, you always have to update your resume. When the team is not playing well, and he's not playing well individually, he should be the one of the players that's galvanising everyone, helping to get everyone back on track. Because like he said there, Liverpool rely on him. They should be relying on him now, and he's not performing. What
happens in a change room when this kind of thing happens, though, with his teammates? Because Alisson says he's going to talk to him in private.
Listen, in the change room, not everyone likes each other, first and foremost. But you know, it's going to be split. There's going to be some players that are like, why has he gone out and said that now? That's selfish and whatnot. And then there's going to be other players like Alisson, I think, that would say, you know, you shouldn't have spoke out. If you had something to say, you should have addressed Slot privately in his office, not air your dirty laundry in public. It's the wrong thing to do. I think you should maybe go and apologise to everyone in the dressing room, the manager. And if you do everything publicly, like Salah's done, you should make the apologies publicly as well, so everyone knows. Just like the Everton player that got a red card the other day that was arguing with Keane. Gay. It's like he made a public, he had a public argument with Keane on the pitch, but he made a public apology. And it is forgotten. Everyone can move forward.
OK, well, Sky Sports is partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their opinions on their club. If you want to represent your club, scan that QR code there or visit the Sky Sports app for more details. Joining us now is Liverpool fan Montel Bowen. Montel, we'll get on to Arne Slot in a moment, because I know you had strong opinions on him last time. But in terms of Salah, do you believe this is the end of his Liverpool career?
Yeah, it looks like it for me. I wish he could stay longer. I want him to at least see out the rest of the season and try and turn things around. But I just think when you come out and say things like this, I don't really have a massive problem actually what he said. I think it's more the way he's kind of gone about it and the timing of it all. But that to me sounds like the words of someone who either could have an offer on the table or, you know, I don't know. It seems like there's something premeditated there, where he feels like maybe there's no way back. I think if Salah knew there was a way back, I don't think he'd come out at that time with those comments the way he did.
Montel, I don't know if you heard me speak last year. I was kind of like of the pretense, listen, you shouldn't give players what they want just because what they've done, especially in their 30s, 33, because you're giving someone retirement money. You're saying, thanks so much for what you've done. We're going to give you something for the future. But there is no future. Everyone's levels drop off as you get older. One of Salah's main attributes is his pace. If he could reinvent himself and play as a number 10 or play somewhere else, he could be maybe more effective, like the likes of Rooney's and, like I said, Henry's. You know, there's lots of players here who are Ibrahimovic, Kane,
Sheringham.
Giggs, like all of these players. But he's not able to do that because his technique is not as good as theirs.
What I would say is that I'm pretty sure Henry was in the MLS by 33. I'm pretty sure.
He went to Barcelona and reinvented his game. I'm talking about when he loses his main attributes, not necessarily like his age.
But Salah's 33. Salah's playing at a higher level than any of those guys did at 33. I'm not saying he's better than any of those guys.
Well, he's playing at Messi at 33.
No. I'm not.
Ronaldo at 33.
No. The names you mentioned, you didn't say Ronaldo. You said Henry and Rooney.
Rooney, Messi, Ronaldo, Ibrahimovic, Kane,
cool. I'm
Giggs.
I'm not talking about so much Ibrahimovic or even Kane, because I
so
think
you're talking about the one that fits your narrative then.
No, hold on. It's not fit my narrative. Cool, fair enough. I'm saying that Mo Salah has reinvented himself because last season and this season, Mo Salah's attributes physically haven't changed much from last season.
They have. They have.
His legs,
His sprints back. He sprints back. He's defending back. He's lower than last year. When he got told last year not to run as much.
He covers more kilometres on average this year than he does last year.
He covers more kilometres this year.
Yes, this year on average.
His output, his sprints back this year is lower than last year.
Regardless, I'm not going to go back.
No, that's not regardless. That's why he's not playing, right? When you go for a tough time in a team, you have to work hard. If you're not playing well going forward, you have to do something.
No, Salah's been poor because he's been poor in all factors. Okay. Working hard, technique, decision making.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he's not playing.
No. But you said he's struggling to reinvent himself.
I'm saying he's struggling to reinvent himself this is my position, right, with him. If he's not working back and his dribbles are down, he's not defending, he's not scoring, right? Maybe it's if he could reinvent himself and put him in another position where he could be effective, then it's different. When you're a winger, you have to do them hard yards, forward and back.
No, I hear it. I hear what you're saying. But what I'm saying is Salah has reinvented himself many a time. He's become a touchline winger. He's been an inside forward. Salah has stopped using his raw pace in the last 2 years. Salah physically lost a massive yard of pace. I'd say about 2-3 years ago. Last season, Salah wasn't bombing up and down, doing loads of things. He was getting the ball where he needed to, and he was being decisive when he needed to.
Salah's sprints are at the lowest he's ever had in his career. So what are you talking about?
Again, he covers the same distance, if not more. Covers more distance.
Sprints. No one's talking about. Listen, Montel. No one's talking about jogging around the football pitch, right? Anyone can jog around the football. I could come out of retirement and jog around the football pitch. It's sprints. It's high intensity runs, forward and back. They are what he's been doing.
The way the system has changed.
The system now.
The whole team. I'm not blaming it solely on the system. I'm just saying Mo Salah on many occasions has reinvented himself. And yes, in my opinion,
when did he need to reinvent himself? When you're in your mid-20s, you don't need to. When you're in your 20s, you don't need to because he's being effective.
My overall point is that Salah has lost his pace long before last season. He didn't lose his pace over the summer.
What do you mean he's lost his pace? He was still breezing past people last season. His sprints were up last season. He's sprinting back. He's sprinting forward. He was efficient last season.
He was efficient last season with his decision-making more so than anything else. Physically, Mo Salah has already been on the decline. Mo Salah's physical decline has not started from last year.
It started this year, Montel. His decline started this year.
You're not going to agree on the decline thing, but what do you think about the fan reaction tonight, Montel? Because this is the first game since he did that interview.
In terms of the fan reaction, it's been interesting to see from my perspective. Listen, I agree. There's no player is bigger than the club. There's no player bigger than the club. And this whole Salah versus Slot thing is frustrating as a fan to see. And as you guys know, because for me, I believe what Salah's saying because he said there's been no communication. He's had no communication. Whether guys want to believe that or not, remember.
But why is that Slot's fault? Why is that Slot's fault?
Hold on.
Why is that Slot's fault? If you want to communicate...
Let me know my point. Let me know my point because I'm going somewhere. 8-9 days ago, Salah was starting every game. And we were all calling for him to be dropped. I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that. We're all calling for him to be dropped. Salah needs to be dropped. With all the money he's on, he shouldn't be playing. Right. I think, for me, there is no way that Salah would come out and speak for just being dropped for 3 games and one of which he's come off the bench. For me, there is way more behind this. And I think this actually, and I'm annoyed at Salah because this is a distraction. It's a distraction from how bad this coach is. It's a distraction.
Montel. Hang on, he's putting the blame on Slot here. Just explain more. It sounds, if I'm right, that you're putting the blame on the manager, not the player.
Yes.
So
No. Salah has his part to play. Salah has his part to play because all he needs to do was wait a little bit longer and this manager would be gone like he deserves to be.
Listen, again, Montel. He's an experienced player, right? He's an experienced player. He's not a young player. He knows what's right and wrong. Even Alisson has backed that and said that. He knows what's right and wrong. He obviously, Alisson said today that he knows that he shouldn't have done what he done, right? That's what he said. I'm saying to you, sorry, let me land now. I'm saying to you that he knows better. If he had a problem with Slot, he should have gone to his office and addressed that problem. He shouldn't have gone in the media and said what he said, because he's made that situation now about himself. Liverpool are already in a tough situation. Okay?
Right.
Liverpool do not need this. Now, there's going to be players in that dressing room that's going to be split. That's going to be upset with him. He's just made the whole situation worse. So for you to say that, oh, it's Slot's fault and not Salah, if Salah really wanted to talk to him, he could have talked to him in private.
I said Salah's timing. I'm annoyed at Salah's timing.
You said you backed Slot just now. I mean, you said you said you backed Salah over Slot.
I also said Salah has distracted the world away from how bad this manager is. So again,
yeah, but
Salah,
you said you backed Salah over Slot.
Salah has made this.
He did say he was annoyed with
himself,
Salah, though. He did say he was annoyed with Salah.
Yeah, but if you're backing Salah over Slot, then you're on Salah's side and not Slot's. You want Slot to get the sack, don't you?
Say that again.
Well, he has said that. Montel, you said it was last Monday, wasn't it? I think,
yes.
Montel, last Monday, when after you'd beaten West Ham, you said you still wanted Slot gone, and since then it's been 2 draws, home to Sunderland and away at Leeds. So your opinion, as we can see, hasn't changed. If anything, has it even strengthened?
My opinion hasn't changed, because his man management is horrible. I broke down why this manager should be gone, and everyone was so surprised. Everyone was so shocked at why man wanted the manager out after beating who?
There's nothing wrong with that, Montel.
Because
there's nothing wrong with that. You wanting the manager out, or even him. It's when you come out and you speak against the manager. Listen, Slot obviously has a problem with Salah as well, by the way. That's obvious, right? He doesn't like something in his game. I'm guessing it's his work rate backwards. But Slot hasn't come out publicly and said anything. That's the difference.
Of course. He's not going to, of course, and Slot's not going to come out publicly and say anything.
Exactly. And why is that? Because he's thinking about the team.
Yeah, of course, going to think about the team. I'm not saying I'm not annoyed with Salah. I said Salah shouldn't. Again, he shouldn't have spoken out at that moment. I think what he said, there was nothing wrong with what Salah said, me personally. It's just about the way you do it. You can either go to the manager, as you said, there's different ways to do that. I'm not disagreeing with you there. However, my annoyance just comes from the distraction of the manager. We haven't won a game since I made that point a couple of weeks ago.
Listen, Montel, listen, you're absolutely right.
This man, but let me land on this. This man's man management is it's underwater. It's horrible.
Okay,
it's horrible.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine, right? Man management might not be good. But ultimately, the players have a responsibility as well to go and play. Now, for me, I watch Liverpool. I actually, listen, I love Liverpool quietly, right? But at the end of the day, the only people that can take credit from this season so far is Szoboszlai and Ekitike. That's it. Right? I expect the likes of Virgil van Dijk to be to stand up and be counted. Yes, Konate ain't been playing well, but, you know, as you see, in world football, it's always 2 players. Your partnership is what makes your team successful, and it has in the past. This season, it's not like that. But back to Salah, he cannot ever come out publicly and speak like this. It would never happen with the likes of Alex Ferguson. It would never happen even with Arteta. We've seen that with Aubameyang. It would never happen with Guardiola. He needs to understand his position. He is a player employed by Liverpool Football Club. He can't come out and speak against the manager that has been employed by the football club. He is not bigger than the football club.
And that's again. And I just don't think he's not a petulant 23-year-old. Salah's a 33-year-old man, and I believe something has happened behind the scenes that has warranted him to come out and speak like this. I just don't think it's solely the 3 times he's been benched. This has clearly been brewing. You're a former footballer. You know how things get. Something has been brewing back in the back room, and clearly Salah's thought to himself, or him and his agent thought, it's fine, speak about this now. I think there's either been an offer on the table or there's been a decision to get him gone from the club, and this is what's caused him to speak out. If it's not that, then fine, call me wrong. That's my theory. But what I do think is that there should have been a better way and a better time for him to come out and say this, because my overall point is, again, no player is bigger than the club, but it's also not Slot FC either. The longer that man is here, the longer this club goes down the gutter. I'm telling you guys for free. This man spoke about Chiesa, and he said the Chiesa has competition, which is why he's not playing. Gakpo is churning out stinker after stinker every single week. And who's Gakpo's competition? Rio. He also said that Rio's played enough minutes for a 17-year-old that a 17-year-old should be playing. So that's a catch-22 in itself. You're contradicting yourself there. He said there's competition on the right side of midfield when the midfielder
Who's contradicting
is playing
himself?
in
Who's contradicting himself?
Arne Slot. He said that Chiesa has competition on the right and the left. Well, Salah's been dropped and Szoboszlai's playing on the right and he's not a right winger.
Yeah, but your best games that you've played this season is when Wirtz has been playing on the right. You beat Frankfurt. You know, you've played some good games. Goals hasn't been.
Our best games also been against West Ham. Who are West Ham right now? This is my point.
Hold on, it's 5-1 against Frankfurt.
This is not the level.
Hold on. Goals hasn't been your problem. Goals hasn't been your problem.
Yes,
right?
it has. No, it's more than goals.
24 goals in the Premier League you've scored this season. 24 goals.
Because this is from individual talent.
24. Listen, Montel. 24 goals has been scored this season. Your defensive record is what's been your problem. That's the problem.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is, when we talk about Salah, going forward, there's no question. It's the defensive work that's in question now. That's what's in question, and that's why he's been dropped, I suspect.
Right. Final
sorry.
question here, Montel. I know you're disagreeing, that's fine, because that's what this show's all about. But we know your views on Arne Slot, and I know that you've said that you'd like Mo Salah to turn it around and leave, potentially leave in the summer. For this situation, we know that you want the manager out. If someone comes in, probably Saudi Arabia, for Mo Salah, in January, would you let him go to stop us talking about all this?
But there was a choice for him to stay.
Yeah, you could reject the offer. I'm putting you in charge of it. You can reject the offer.
If Salah's looking to let bygones be bygones and we go again, and we can stop this whole malarkey, then for me, I'd let him stay, because for me, everyone seems to think that because Slot won the league, he deserves time, and I just think by that metric, Salah's not playing well, and with his backlog of what he's done, he also deserves time to turn these things around. That's the way.
Here's a better question for you, Montel. If 50 million come in for Salah, right? Would you use that money, because you could sign someone? Maybe you could sign Gay. Would you then sell him?
No.
Okay.
I'm not, because.
So you were saying to me, you were saying to me, we wish we had a signed Gay.
Yeah, but to me, the way the club was already looking at buying Semenyo anyways, and Gay, he looks like he could, like the club is already going to be going for Gay in the summer.
What's Semenyo got to do with this?
Well, that would
no.
Attacking any defenders.
Yeah, but they'd have to replace Salah. They'd have to replace Salah.
Why do they need to replace Salah with another? You need a defender.
Hold on. Let me land. My point is that the money is already there. Liverpool up in a financial position to still spend money freely. So us getting an extra 50 million from Salah don't mean nothing.
Yeah, but taking the wages off would mean something. Okay, Montel, thank you.
Thank you, Montel.
Guys, take care. Thank you.